Imagine a world where power is usually defined by specialization, where warriors become stronger by dedicating themselves to a single path: the strongest swordsman, the most powerful mage, the fastest assassin. In most adventure stories, the main character quickly discovers a hidden talent, masters it at an unbelievable rate, and ascends into greatness by perfecting that one gift. But the animated series Jack of All Trades, Party of None challenges that mold from the very beginning. At the center of the story is Oren Dula, a protagonist who doesn't fit neatly into any category. He's not the strongest fighter, not the smartest strategist, not the most gifted magician, and certainly not the most charismatic leader. In fact, if you were to measure him by the traditional standards of heroism, he would look almost like a failure. He's someone who has tried many disciplines: swordsmanship, magic, crafting, scouting, diplomacy, but never mastered any one of them, and yet that is exactly where his strength lies. Oren's journey begins with what many would consider a flaw: mixed magic. He struggles to commit to one role, drifting from skill to skill, constantly experimenting and adapting. In a world where parties demand specialists, someone like him becomes difficult to place. Warriors distrust his combat ability, mages doubt his magical knowledge, and strategists question his discipline. Because he spreads his efforts across so many fields, he appears mediocre in all of them. But the series slowly reveals that his mediocrity is actually versatility. Instead of treating his limitations as weaknesses that must be erased, he studies them. He learns how they interact with each other. Rather than asking, "How do I become the best at this?" he asks something far more interesting: what happens if I combine things no one else thinks to combine? This mindset transforms the way he approaches challenges. When facing enemies stronger than him physically, he doesn't try to overpower them. He improvises, mixing small bits of magical knowledge with environmental awareness and unconventional tactics. When negotiating with allies, he draws not from natural charisma, but from experience gained in different social circles. Every skill he has learned, even partially, becomes another tool in a growing toolkit. The show uses this approach to explore a deeper theme. Growth doesn't always come from eliminating flaws. Sometimes growth comes from understanding them. The protagonist recognizes that he will never dominate a battlefield through raw strength alone. Instead of resenting that truth, he works around it. He adjusts his strategies, builds contingency plans, and invents creative solutions. A half-learned magical technique becomes a distraction tool. Basic engineering knowledge helps him construct traps. Limited sword training allows him to survive just long enough to use his real advantage: adaptability. This makes him deeply relatable. Unlike many heroes who appear destined for greatness, this character often doubts himself. He admits his frequent failures. He underestimates his abilities, misreads situations, and occasionally makes decisions that backfire. But instead of turning these moments into dramatic declarations of revenge or power, the series treats them as opportunities for reflection. He pauses. He thinks. He asks himself why something didn't work. That reflective quality separates him from many modern power fantasy protagonists. In stories where strength escalates rapidly, characters sometimes lose their emotional grounding. They become stoic figures who move through the world with unwavering confidence, their humanity fading behind overwhelming power. But the protagonist of Jack of All Trades, Party of None, resists that transformation. Even as he grows stronger, he never abandons the messy parts of himself: his curiosity, his frustration, his occasional self-doubt. Those qualities are not obstacles. They're part of the process that keeps him evolving. His strength doesn't come from becoming emotionally distant. It comes from staying engaged with the world and the people around him. Another important aspect of his character is that he doesn't chase power for the sake of conquest. Many heroes are driven by a singular goal: defeat the ultimate villain, become the strongest, or dominate every opponent. While those goals may appear in the story's background, they never fully define him. Instead, his journey is about understanding where he fits in a complicated world. Because he has explored so many roles, Fighter, craftsman, scholar, traveler. He develops a broader perspective than most characters. He understands how different people approach problems and how different skills contribute to survival. That perspective allows him to connect with a wide range of allies, forming relationships not through dominance, but through cooperation. In many ways, he becomes the glue that holds groups together. Where others see separate disciplines, he sees intersections. Where others focus on individual glory, he recognizes the value of combined effort. His presence turns rigid party structures into flexible collaborations, proving that adaptability can sometimes be more powerful than specialization. What makes his evolution compelling is that it feels earned. He doesn't suddenly awaken overwhelming power. His growth comes from accumulating experience, slowly refining the strange mixture of skills he has gathered. Each challenge teaches him something new, not just about the world, but about himself. Over time, the thing that once made him seem unfocused becomes his defining strength. He isn't the best at any one thing, but he understands more about how everything works together than anyone else. And that realization reframes the entire story. The series quietly asks a powerful question. What if being a jack of all trades isn't a weakness at all? What if it's the foundation of a different kind of hero? One who thrives not by dominating a single path, but by exploring many. Through its flawed yet determined protagonist Orin, the jack of all trades, Party of None shows that strength doesn't always look like perfection. Sometimes it looks like adaptation, curiosity, and the courage to keep improving even when the world insists you should have chosen just one path.
Wait up! Impact!